Today we go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the sequel trilogy by J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, we are getting closer to principal photography in just under 2 weeks from now. J.J. Abrams will be directing the final film of this trilogy, and I'm really crossing my fingers that he actually ends the movie in a very satisfying way to a majority of the Star Wars fans around the world. We do know that prequel trilogy content will play a role in this movie, so let's just hope that it turns out to be a good one. Now, today we're going over new details of both Kylo Ren and Rey's lightsaber duel scene in Star Wars Episode 9. In case you guys didn't hear the big news, about a month or so ago, we actually heard that both Daisy and Adam Driver would be actually training for a specific lightsaber scene that is actually going to be the biggest one in the sequel trilogy and even all the different Star Wars films out there, such as the prequels and the originals. So, looking at Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, Daisy and Adam Driver will start filming for their big lightsaber scene this September. Both Adam and Daisy will be training for it on and off between scenes, on location and in studio throughout August. The scene is to be shot at Pinewood Studios in the UK, and both Adam and Daisy will be learning new sets of moves and will actually have lots of choreography to work with for the specific scene involving the lightsabers. Now, this takes me way back to the prequel trilogy, specifically Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which was a scene that was primarily shot in studio. I believe it was actually all done in studio. All the lava, everything was all CGI, and this raises another question. Is this scene going to consist of a lot of CGI, or is it going to have a lot of practical effects and real-life sets, much like the one in The Force Awakens? In case you guys didn't know, that lightsaber duel was all indoors. Believe it or not, that was all done at Pinewood in the UK, where they're on Starkiller Base with the trees and the snow, everything. That was all done indoors. So, they're doing the same thing for Star Wars Episode 9 as they did with The Last Jedi. It seems like all of these lightsaber duels are pretty much all done in studio. Even the planet Crate, believe it or not, that was all green screen. Both Luke and Kylo, the whole background, green screen. So, what I really would have loved to see was a lightsaber duel actually being used on location, like in an actual site. This is why I think the planet of Ahch-To would have been a great location for a duel, where you have both Kylo and Rey, you know, fighting to the death by the waves and the water, the ocean, crashing against the sand. It would have been perfect and somewhat of a parallel to that of Revenge of the Sith, because in that battle, you have the lava, and then they could have done something with Kylo and Rey with the water. But looking at Episode 9, guys, it does raise a lot of questions for sure, as to exactly what's the end game for Kylo Ren. What's going to happen to Rey? In case you guys didn't know this, the original script by Colin Trevorrow, when Daisy Ridley read it, she was crying about the ending when it involved Rey. And this made me think that maybe Rey died in the original script for Episode 9 by Colin. Now, you gotta remember that JJ and Chris Terrio, they took over the script and they actually rewrote the entire thing, and pretty much all of Colin's ideas are absent from JJ's script. So, I'm not quite sure how much of that transferred over. I'm sure some elements did. Some general elements for the movie, I'm sure did. But specific little details here and there and big surprises, I think, were drastically changed. So as for this scene involving both Kylo and Rey, it really reminds me what George Lucas did with Revenge of the Sith, kind of aiming to have a huge lightsaber duel between both Anakin and Obi-Wan. It seems like JJ is trying to do something around those lines with Episode 9 and trying to get on that level, and I think that that's something that a lot of us fans would love to see. Again, one of my big disappointments in The Last Jedi was we didn't really get a quote-unquote lightsaber duel. Yeah, sure, we got that little flashback scene where both Luke and Kylo clash sabers for 30 seconds, not even. And then we had the scene where both Kylo and Rey, they're going up against the Praetorian Guards. Myself personally, I think it would have been a hell of a lot better if they were actually both battling each other in front of Supreme Leader Snoke before Kylo actually killed Snoke. Now, the other thing is, on the planet Crate, both Luke and Kylo, again, not a real lightsaber duel. It was pretty much just all dodges here and there. So that's something that in Episode 9 I think is going to be, a refreshing piece, is having a real lightsaber duel, and a lengthy one at that. And again, the one in The Force Awakens I felt, was a bit short for what we were all expecting to see against these two different characters that we were just introduced to at the time. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.